Good evening, low budget LCS, and welcome to the Economy League quarterfinals match, the Colony versus Spermwhales. I'm Papoba, aka Papa Boa, and I'm joined today by the effervescent Val.
Hello.
And we're coming at you with some whale facts, some termite facts. I had to stop myself from reading the termite facts on the Wikipedia page and start this broadcast because I believe we're about to get into the draft here. I'm gonna raise up the audio volume of the lo-fi jazz there for y'all a little bit.
Very excited to see these two teams play. I feel like they both have styles that are fun to watch. Obviously, the Colony bring a certain level of wildness and kind of strong lanes and such to the game. Meanwhile, the Spermwhales, I feel like, have such strong carries. Obviously, their normal jungler Energy T isn't playing this match, but they still got Maz SP, they still got Flash on D, and yeah, I don't know. So I'm really excited to see them kind of show up and play this game. Big playoff game.
I feel like I know the name Delash on D. Where would I know that name from?
So Delash on D played last season on Spermwhales as well, but there is a commercial player named Flash on D. Yeah. So there are two in the league.
And do we think this is like academic integrity violations, or are we looking at just two separate? Oh boy, it takes two to tango, huh? Let me go get a beverage.
It is. There are. There are. I think they're just two completely separate entities, and of course, this is a TriCast, as we are now joined by Loki Aurora.
Oh yeah!
Good evening. I am very grateful that my ADC's internet came back, and I don't have to play.
Were you going to be playing ADC, or what role were you going to be playing?
I was going to play ADC, to the bereavement of everyone's vision.
Well, we could have had some like interesting we could have had some Cine Leona action going on, but the draft is well underway, and we're seeing some bans come out from both sides. Jinx and Zinshao and Zyra coming out from Spermwhales, kind of targeting every part of the map. Meanwhile, Braum, Mel, and Amumu targeted from the side of the Spermwhales. I'm excited to see what these two teams are going to come up with draft here. Wow.
I'm actually kind of surprised to see the Colony ban the Braum, because I know that's something that a camp does like to play quite a bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I think I mentioned this on the booth earlier, but these are two teams that very much have pride themselves on their supports. Yeah, I don't know, and a camp are probably two of the better supports in the league, up there with players like Ratlantis as well and Young Santa. But we're immediately going to see something aggressive come out here. Kaisa Thresh for the Colony, and this is likely Yorick Jungle for the Spermwhales as their substitute jungler in here today. Tsunami, one of his main picks in solo queue, I believe.
Is the York Jumble, absolutely. Yeah. And with banning the Amumu, which is the only other more meta, shall we say, jungler they play in that role, the York does come out.
Oh, I just got back to my computer. I'm seeing that I've got 20 seconds of drinkies.
30. I think you're 30. Full Metal. Yeah, Full Metal, Luffy, and I'm Hero. All with...
A lot of times, I'll have like a juice, or I'll be slamming some water because I've got plans. Don't have plans for today, so I am hitting the sauce, as it were. So
all right.
Oh, Jesus! All right, hang on. I guess I'm just gonna finish this drink. Y'all can talk about draft, and then I'll go make another
mid
drink.
Or support, because their mid later Masp has actually played Bard more on stage than their support has this split.
Wow. I love hearing things like that. I love hearing this reminds there's a financial team that is known for their Senna Udyr as well. But this is a scary one because I think I love Jin Bard as a combination. But I think having this pick flexible to mid is not something a lot of teams may be prepared for. So I'm really curious to see how that's gonna go and how the
Also,
colony are gonna react to it.
I'm fairly sure that's Mundo Jungle.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mundo Jungle also pretty
Love
great.
Mundo Jungle. Although it could also be flex top, or does their top not play it at all?
I'm not sure. Jordan plays a lot of everything.
Can play it. He hates being on tank duty, so he's on tank duty.
Yep, that checks out.
But we'll see how it goes. So we can see that the sperm whales do not have the read that Mundo is likely in the jungle. They definitely do not have the read that Mundo.
They
oh,
really
never
don't
mind.
believe it's...
I am wrong.
Oh, trick! They're kind of moving it around, but hey, Mundo once again is one of those champs that's very flexible. I think they're trying to get something that can handle this Yorick. I really am. I'm not privy to how Yorick Jungle actually plays the game. Like, I don't know what the strategy really is there. So this whole game, I'm going to be kind of navigating blind.
The strategy is two things at once.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your maiden and your minions kill camps while you do something else. But they did recently nerf the damage the minions take, so they do take 100% damage from jungle camps instead of like 10%, because why would anyone play Yorick in the jungle? So the little guys are going to get killed more readily. I do want to say that whales have an incredibly mobile team comp.
Yeah,
with the Bard and the Rise ult.
Bard Rise. They have a lot of assisted mobility, I think is the word I'd use, because even immobile champs like Rise is the most mobile, but I think more of Jin and Yorick, who are very super mobile. Well, they have a Bard portal, they have a Rise ult that they can get out with. I think that is really interesting, and I'm curious to see how they're going to use that as Colony close out with the Veigar into the Rise. I'm really excited to see, because I feel like a lot of these lanes could go either way. As when I play Rise, I don't actually mind the Veigar matchup. It's about moving within the cage and kind of making things happen.
Yep. That is, however, going to make it harder for anyone to get on top of the Veigar, which does give him a little bit of safety in lane from the Bard roams and the Yorick ganks. Sorry, that still feels weird to say.
Yeah, it sure does.
Have you seen the video at all, Val, of the Yorick jungle clear pre-nerfs?
I did see a video of it, like he's like halfway across the map. I think the video I saw was his ghouls were doing his red while he was invading.
Yep.
The enemy blue. That was like, oh, okay, yeah, this is awful. This is an affront to mankind. So I'm happy they nerfed that. I'm happy that his ghouls can't just 1v1 a buff while he invades. I think that's a good change. But I'm also excited to see Yorick in lanes that aren't his own. I think that's key to that type of flexibility is really, really curious.
Gingy, I see that you think that is a blue whale. However, the head is a little bit squared, so it could be a young female sperm whale.
This is why among other reasons, this is why we have Loki on cast. Beautiful. I would have never been able to know that, period.
Quit.
I'm a nerd.
Prediction here. I'm gonna be honest. Sperm whale, blue whale, not in my top whales. Okay, they're good. They're big, but there's. I'm a giant squid fan, so if you're a giant squid fan, you're not really a whale fan. Just those two things.
Particularly sperm whales, because their strategy is diving down to about 3,000 feet, and one of their primary food sources are large squids. They're probably the main predator of the giant squid.
Well, they're also one of the main reasons we figured out that giant squids exist, right? Because the first sort of evidence we had of giant squids was the like scars and like claw marks from them.
It was actually the stomach contents from whale hunting.
That's slightly more depressing than what I thought it was.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Sometimes that's the way the cookie crumbles.
I mean, if you look up historical photos, they are there. That's what they actually say. However, if you actually look back in the historic scientific record, there are analysis of the stomach contents of sperm whales. I'm sorry.
I'm a big fan of whale sharks.
Whale sharks go hard.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
I have a soft place in my heart for beluga whales because I was a major Raffi fan when I was a child, and the Baby Beluga song is just delightful.
That's reasonable. I agree with that.
I'm a big fan of ring-tailed lemurs because Zubumafu, if anyone is familiar, it's a banger program when I was a child.
Some of the kids I babysat were familiar with that one.
All right. So it does look like it is going to be... I can go over and take us to the client screen for a moment here, just so that we can see that it is, in fact, going to be Rise Mid and not some weird Rise Support Bard Mid technology. But we're still drafting over here. They're not even in-game.
Oh, true, yeah. Real. No one's in-game. We won't be in-game for a little bit longer as well.
Mm-hmm. We'll be waiting here, but that's okay. Casino is open, so please step on in. There's 30K up for grabs already in favor of the colony. With
yeah.
Now,
something
okay.
tells me Luffy put all his money on his own team.
I'm not seeing Luffy's name as the big better.
No, that's Payne. And I have 7.7K on them, so
you
should I be the top better?
Colony 4th seed coming in here against Spermwhales, who, even though they are the 12th seed, just took down the 5th seed. You're still going Colony or better all day, every day. Also,
absolutely. I don't have to play tonight. That's an instant buff.
Happens to, honestly, I feel the same way when I don't play for my team.
I've been playing terribly lately.
If I'm in the game, I'm like, I don't know about our chances, but as soon as I watch my own team, I'm like, yeah, we've got this.
I would say whale-wise, I'm a big fan of killer whales, orcas. Yeah, sure, they can do some fucked up shit. That's true. That's true. But
well, any intelligent creature can do some pretty fucked up shit because they have self-awareness.
Exactly.
There you go. And well, also,
have you looked at humans?
Oh god. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
humans, dolphins, yeah. But there's different. So there's actually different like whale societies in terms of orcas. So particularly along the west coast, there are transients, which speak one orca language, and then residents, which speak a different orca language. So those two groups, while they're the same species, they could hypothetically interbreed. They can't communicate.
Who's the loneliest whale on Earth? There is a whale that has like a voice that's like way too low, and so it can't talk to its friends, and so it just lives by itself. You've heard of this, right?
Yeah, it's the 52 hertz whale.
Yeah. What type of whale is that?
I'm pretty sure it's a blue whale.
And it was really sad because it has marine biologist, unidentified species. That's why I don't know it. It's known as 52 blue, though.
Oh, so it's actually higher than the blue whale? Because blue whales should be 10 to 39 hertz. 52 hertz. Interesting.
Yeah. it's like out of the range that their ears can even pick up reasonably.
Mm-hmm.
It's like us and bats speaking to one another.
The prediction was open for 5 minutes. It has closed, unfortunately. So, oh, I see Val in there with little 1.1K.
Yeah. Well, Val,
I
if
like betting against the spread.
oh, that makes complete sense. That's what I normally do. You may make a lot of my schmeckles.
I mean, this is definitely an interesting game. Spermwhales have kind of taken the dark horse mantle in their time in the LBLCS. Maybe they don't jump off of the paper to a lot of people, but Maz SP, Flash on D, yeah, I don't know. Energy T, who obviously Energy T or Stantry, who actually I don't know what his username. I think it's Stantry. It might be something else. I don't remember their jungler's league username, but the jungler as well.
Tsunami.
Their starting jungler. I think.
Oh.
I know.
I looked at it a bunch. I don't remember it.
I don't remember. I remember his old username was Energy T, but I don't remember what it is. Tsunami though. Tsunami and Bird, I think, are the kind of two that I really want to see something big come out of, because I feel like that's where this series will be won. But Maz obviously can have a big series. Same goes for Flash on D, and they're facing who I think are the big beasts of this colony matchup in Bakuda Beast and Acamped.
I was about to say, they're confirming it. There will definitely be level 1 shenanigans with Acamped on Thresh. There is no way Acamped gets that champion and doesn't immediately do things.
Oh, do I need to stream this for you in Discord?
Oh.
Cutwire's already doing it. Val's already doing it for me, so...
Yeah. I don't need to do shit. Let's go.
I'm gonna watch the stream to make sure that we're on the same time, though.
I am at 49, 50, 51, 52, 53,
yeah, we're good.
54.
God bless the count, huh?
God bless the count. Were y'all here? Actually,
wait, double audio on me?
Double audio?
And Val? What?
One of you want to watch stream and tell me?
Here, hold on. I can turn on sound for stream. I have it open.
I'm gonna make a
Okay.
waffle.
Okay, so Spermwhales did not take the trap that Colony set up for them? Ooh.
I don't know if it's double sound, but it definitely sounds odd, I think. Yeah, I was like, it's weird. I don't know if it's double. It's like,
Oh, I think it is double.
Not like...
I think I fixed it. Like, give it a couple seconds, see if it's fixed. Okay. So I was going to try and be neutral / on the side of the Spermwhales, since I know Loki is most likely going to root for the colony.
Root, yes, but also Flame.
Okay, good to know. Unfortunately, I have become somewhat of a Wukong jungle one-trick, and therefore I must root for Uwufi here.
Okay.
It's hard not to root for him in general, as well. One of the LBLCS most notable personalities, I'd say.
Have you ever had to have him as your captain? That's interesting.
Almost. I believe I was almost the top laner for this team if I hadn't gotten my own. If I hadn't promised my friends I'd play with them this season.
Oh.
It was almost happened. Didn't, but maybe next season.
How is he as a captain? Care to shed some light?
80% of the time I have no idea what's happening.
Who's going to go in? Flays backwards. Yeah, IDK going quite low. Is going to be forced to flash away. Galson looking for the proc. One more auto is going to do it. Galson gets another turret. Takes one turret shot. Uses the barrier to dodge the damage. Flash on D. Fourth shot. Doesn't quite get it. But now Camp has to play screen. I don't think they're going to be able to get this wave in, but it does nice first blood over to the side of the colony.
Great play. 80% of the time I have no idea if Luffy's being serious about anything, and I have to ask clarifying questions because the sarcasm and randomness is ever present.
Yeah. Just about everything is a bit. and trying to figure out what isn't is definitely like a battle in its own, but a big first kill in this bot lane for Gelson and a camped. Right, as I think I said, yeah, I don't know, and a camped feel like the two names that you've absolutely got to watch in this matchup. I'm really excited to see how they impact the game the more it goes on.
Particularly since they're on such playmaking champions, it'll be really great to see them go head to head.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, especially seeing what I don't know is going to be able to do to kind of mitigate a camp's presence.
Yeah.
You see both top laners pretty low here, but Tsunami not going to opt go in there for the top gank. Doesn't look like we saw any crazy Yorick shenanigans, which I like. With Wukong, really what you're looking to do is hit 6, and typically that happens around the Grubs timer. So that's what I'll be looking for from the side of Woofy.
The old Grubs timer, the new Grubs timer, he'll probably be 7.5.
No, I think new Grubs timer's around when you hit 6 right now.
8 minutes?
Yeah. In jungle.
Isn't it? Okay.
Junglers are cursed. When Riot let us have, our fair share of golden experience, all the laners complained that we were too overpowered. And so they took it away from us. And, said, you could just be underleveled the whole game. Have fun.
Well, it used to be if you full cleared your jungle twice and
Okay, we're seeing a big scary spot here, but here comes Tsunami. Yeah, DK is going incredibly low, but the hook is going to miss. He's able to portal out there. Now Dlash on D doing quite a bit of damage here. Galson throws the lantern for the shield, backing up towards the turret. Tsunami not quite able to get in there. The little... What do we call these guys? Bravelings?
Ghouls. Those are
Ghouls.
Ghouls, thank you.
Ghouls and goblins. Yeah.
Ghouls.
I mean,
and
that is...
instead.
I'm down.
Going in, has hit the 6. Bird gonna be in a little bit of trouble, but does manage to make it underneath their turret.
Yeah, just walks away. That is and that's one thing I noticed it earlier, but I think Yordle has a very good idea of what to do against Zambessa, right? There was a moment where, even though there was plenty of distance, Yordle was giving Bird a lot of respect because Zambessa is very good at, she can hit the wave twice and just appear in front of your face and take a really good trade, right? Yeah. By kind of playing with that spacing, playing with that range, it's been really hard for Bird to catch.
Goblin
blocked it.
The Goblin blocked it. Goblin. Wow.
The Goblin blocked Galson's W, which would have stolen the 3 HP dragon there.
Wow.
What an absolute stunner.
Crazy.
Beautiful stuff.
But now Bird's got up 10 CS. He's doing fantastically.
Yeah, early on in these fights, Zambessa simply just doesn't have the damage to hang, especially with someone like Mundo who's going to out-sustain her in these fights. Especially without the Conqueror. I'm opting for the grass, something more tanky, so we'll probably see... I don't know if we'll see the Eclipse first like we usually do with Zambessa. I assume it'll be something else with the grass. But I may also be wrong.
Yeah. There's a 1k gold lead on Colony right now, and I find it amazing that Gelson and Camp are able to absorb so much pressure in that bot lane and apply pressure at the same time to allow Luffy to just farm jungle.
Yeah.
He's just been minding his business, right?
He's just vibing.
It's been big time. Camp is moving up top, though. They may be looking at Zambessa.
Yep, and Wukong hitting level 6 right before these Grubs. Ooh, Bird might be in trouble, but can dash 800 times. Not quite going to be able to lead the hook. I'm Hero in the chat. It's kind of a toss-up on who to bet on here. Technically, the Colony are the higher seed, so that would be the obvious choice. However, Spermwhales did just beat the seed directly below them, so it's really anyone's game.
Odds were great for Spermwhales, though.
I was
about to say, I would have to be not very smart to give my 1100. I only put 1100 in for the Spermwhales, but I mean, if that
We're
ends
gonna
up
see a
being
little
right,
skirmish here. Uwufi's going to be going in with that Cyclone, finds the knockup once, is going to have the recast here. There it goes. The best is going to be in the back line. Yordle being taken very low, but has that massive amount of regeneration. Outplay button going to be utilized. Yordle almost certainly going to fall. A Camped also going to fall now. Tsunami doing quite a bit of damage here, and now Uwufi's going to be in trouble, and the Sperm Whales flip up their tail and slap back against the colony.
and
I think the Maiden did a lot there.
Yeah, Maiden did plenty of work. I think, I don't know how to kind of... It was kind of a sneaky thing. I almost didn't realize what was happening, but he basically immediately got the hell out of dodge and avoided dying because of it. And that was because Maz kind of just got to free hit, got 2 kills off of that, will likely get to back and come back with the Catalyst of Aeons, which will be a big item for this Rise, who's only going to get tankier and deal more damage as the game goes on.
Dark Jack, we don't have that budget.
Oh yeah, we sure don't.
That capability is only for small indie companies. Unfortunately, we are not a company.
Yeah. That is not within our capabilities. Glad you think so highly of us, though.
Unfortunately,
that is huge for Spermwhales.
We're not a time portal back to like 2010's League of Legends.
Yeah.
I wish.
That would rock.
You ever want to play Dominion again?
I started playing after Dominion.
Ult gonna go in, and Maz is going to be right on top, but Bakuda Beast is able to just walk out here. Yeah, IDK looking to do the damage. One more Q's going to get it. And Masp, or Masp P? I don't know how we...
Maz SP is what I've gone with, or just Maz. But now, and a hard trade coming out here from Bird. Probably didn't want to go too hard, knowing that the Mundo ult might be up now. I mean, it is coming up, but we'll see.
Salmon in chat, if I'm not incorrect.
Ooh, exciting thing spot.
Ooh, okay, Slash on D, gonna be dope here. Nice root onto Uwufi. Uwufi barely gonna survive there, and Galson gets chunked a huge amount. Now Galson's gonna be in trouble. The slow lands from Maz P, and the ghouls go forward. A little bit overzealous on that dive from the side of the Colony is gonna mean right now about a 1.4k gold lead for the side of Spermwhales.
Yeah, and it swung completely back in favor. And a great use of the ult, by the way, just off screen by Maz SP to get around the Veigar and Thresh trying to collapse on the rotate back to mid lane. And Maz, right now, I mentioned it before, but Maz is one of those players in Econ that has consistently been a huge X factor for this team and already has 4 kills and the Rod of Ages finished at 11 minutes. Very scary situation, very scary Rise you've got to deal with if you are the Colony. Wow, I cannot believe the blast couldn't sit that way. I thought he was going right over that wall.
I did as well.
Yeah.
I thought Luffy just had one of those plays, you know what I mean?
That's going to be...
A Luffy?
The feat of monster hunting, if I'm not incorrect. Yes, there it goes. For the side of the Spermwhales.
That's going to be feats of strength as well.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Because they got the Warfare's one.
Yeah.
So, oh wait, they do not have the feat of monster slaying because they didn't get 3 grubs.
No, they got 2, and you only need 2.
They got 2. No, you need all 3.
You need 2. You need 2 for
really? Did they change it?
Yeah. Now that it only spawns once.
Because there's only one spawn.
Oh! That makes so much sense. I was playing a game earlier today, and I was like, "Damn, where are the second grubs at?" They do not exist. They do not exist. Okay.
Well, clearly one of us didn't read the patch notes.
Looking here does have the Cyclone available. Is going to use that W to stay on top of Bird, but not going to pop it right now. Now Bakuda Beast is going to be in the face of Maz P. Sure.
Let it be known, I don't know if I've read patch notes in like a full 2 or 3 seasons. It's been a very long time.
Might I recommend finding a YouTube summary of them?
I just kind of go with the flow. Usually my friends who will like complain about the changes, and that's how I figure out what's been changed. Otherwise, I'm kind of just chilling.
Interesting. Annie's been adjusted a little bit. Here comes the Cyclone now into Maz SP and shut down. goes over to Bakuda Beast.
Wow.
A nice combination there.
Excellent.
Primordial Burst plus Cyclone means there is nowhere for the Rise to go. You cannot heal if you are dead.
This is true. This is true. And
Your
a big
waffle's in
kill
there,
that
Salmon. Your waffle's about to come out. It's got chocolate chips and everything. Don't worry. I got you.
Bakuda Beast likely going to back and come back with probably Boots and Rod of Ages if I am doing the math right in my head.
Quite a bit of gold.
Yeah, sitting on 2k gold right now. Once that back comes through, it'll be big time. We'll basically once again on
Great
our
hook.
big hook from
Nice
the camp.
hook onto Flash on D. Now Galston going in, but Galston also quite low. Force shot's going to do a ton of damage. Is going to fall in trade, and now we have some supportal combat here. Minion wave on the side of IDK, but a camp wants to take it. Is going to walk forward, trying to get into hook range, but IDK playing the spacing with the wave quite well. Doesn't land Q, but here comes Maz SP, as well as a Woofy, but a Woofy gets caught up by the Rise ultimate. However, now is going to be there. Does not have the Cyclone, but does do quite a bit of damage. One more Q, not quite going to be it. And Maz SP claims the supportal combat interference. Kind of rude, if I'm being honest.
Kind of rude. Well, it was rude, but I think also I forgive it because Woofy was hot on his way, right? I think that's only fair. It's just use it earlier in a pretty heavy fight. We'll see. But the thing is that will Yordle let Bird push it, right?
Yordle.
We'll see.
Still deceptively tanky. There's going to go the ultimate that will pop the passive. Is going to get the regeneration from that, which is big. But Tsunami's still hanging around here.
Yordle's being smart, yeah. Kind of stepping out, making sure the wave doesn't come
Yordle
back.
Tanking. That's going to be damage going through, and Maiden is just going to take it down. Tsunami, one more tower shot would do it. They space it well enough. The camp's not quite in time to save their doctor in the top lane.
I'm not playing.
I was going to say, as a medical professional, what is your opinion of Dr. Mundo's medical expertise?
Have you read his lore?
Yes. He woke up and said, I am doctor, right?
That was his old lore.
Woofy going in is going to hit Cyclone onto 3 there. Maz SP is going to be in trouble. Cyclone is going to take him down, so that's a huge amount of damage now away from the Spermwhales. And I Am Yordle coming in, full health. A huge rout going to be further side of the colony as I'm eating a waffle. My apologies. Tsunami potentially also going to fall here. Here's a little bit, flashes out, but a nice hook from a camp is going to mean that the Bard falls. And a massive turn for the colony.
Port supremacy.
Especially. Well, I was going to say Woofy, but I'm just biased because it's Wukong, I think.
I mean, the supportive. Well, for the record, the supportive roles of the colony have been a driving force this season, and they're showing us why they've been pretty on point this game. I feel like both teams' best players are kind of stepping up in a way that. In a way they only know how, in the way they know how, right? Maz SP is having a pretty solid game so far. Tsunami kind of stepping in at this jungle position is also having a great game. Themselves, Slash on D is kind of being that consistent ADC that they need. On the other side, Woofy and Akampt are being very good at the game and kind of being that force, the driving battery of this colony squad as Spermwhales look for Soul Point.
Yeah, and I mean 6 out of 7 kill participation here from Camped, which I really, really love. But I also must commend Tsunami here on the neutral objective focus. You know, they got Grubs, they've got 3 Drakes. Camp now going to be in a little bit of trouble. Is going to drop the Lantern, use that Blast Cone. Might not be enough. Ghouls, ooh, not quite going to get that. What is that ability called? I'm going to find out.
Death Sentence?
Dark Procession.
Or Dark Procession.
That doesn't seem like the name. Also, you're welcome, Salmon. Dark Procession.
Wait, are you talking about Thresh or?
I'm talking about Yorik's W. His wall.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Wait, hold on. I can check.
As Mass SP is going to take up this bot lane turret. Now we are even in gold, all things considered, and we have to have the dreaded conversation. Loki, what do you think about scaling this game?
Thresh is phenomenal at all points of the game. Mundo will be massive. Wukong will tend to fall off a bit. Vigar is well known for having some of the best scaling in the game, and Kaisa will get quite strong in late game. Let's see, Ambessa, honestly, I don't know. Luffy loves her. I pay no attention to that champion. Yorick, I don't think is going to be as relevant in team fights later. Rise scales really well. Jin scales well. Bard is obnoxious.
Perfect. that is spot on, and especially in terms of art. And Bessa's kind of a weird case because it's just I feel like she does different things at the later stages of the game, right? Right now,
is that a lethality build though?
She starts Eclipse, and it depends on where she goes from here. She can go more bruisery. She can go a lethality from here. If it's lethality, it's basically going to be the can I one shot Kaisa show. If it's more tanky, then we'll probably see Bird go on, probably try to play frontline at the start of these fights, and then use ult to pick off Kaisa or Veigar if they misposition. Maz SP is kind of free firing on the Luffy though. Wow, that's a lot of damage. Has the Archangel staff? Has the Archangel's no, what's it called?
Rod of Aegis. Seraph's Embrace.
And Seraph's, yes, that. Thank you. Seraph's Embrace finished as well. Really strong.
Going to be used here. Maz SP coming in with the Realm Warp. Wolfie using the Cyclone to buy time for their teammates. Bakuda Beast dropping the Primordial.
But he has the shield.
Not quite going to have the execute damage that's desired. Maz SP getting that chunky shield. The second cast of Cyclone comes through, but there's a whole lot of goblins coming through here for the Spermwhales as the counterpunch on the top side from the colony does claim the life of the bird.
So 2 kills on the side of Spermwhales. However, they should get turret pressure in topside. That bot turret was already taken from Colony. So
it looks like Flash on D is looking to take the mid turn in return, though.
But Jin not the fastest turret taker. Yeah, IDK kind of in a camp's face. I don't know if Colossus does dodge the hook, which is
sidesteps it. Sidesteps it and is doing exactly what we were talking about, being as annoying as possible, knows that Maz SP is coming up behind, they can't engage on him. And that's what I'm talking about. The later this game, I think the big thing, and I do love that Galson's going the on-hit build, because to your York point, I do think it'll be difficult for him to be really like a big issue in this fight, because I think there is I don't know if you've seen maybe Peppo, you have the Sojin Leandries York build.
I have not. That sounds fun.
It's basically like you go burn Yorick. That way you can kind of be super obnoxious in team fights rather than a split push threat. Here, Tsunami's probably looking more to kind of leverage downtime between objectives to be a threat on the side lanes. And I think that is big time.
Here, but I don't think it's going to result in much. Actually, Maz SP does some good damage.
She does some good damage. Fun fact, and obviously I'm going back to top lane, but one of my main things in top lane, honestly, Rise was kind of my Mundo counterpick because it felt like a free scaling lane, and the later
Herald is down in bot lane, so they're trying to take
Bird going to be the target underneath the turret here. Meanwhile, the Otacon is being taken in top, so this is a very intentional trait happening across the map. With the colony looking for this bot turret gold in compensation. They also will have priority on this Drake, which should prevent Spermwhales from getting soul here, but they do have time to reset and look.
It's going to be close. Galson's going on hit, so they will do this very fast between Wukong. I don't think they're actually going to get a chance to contest unless Maz TPs them into the pit for the fight.
Or, a little Jin W action.
Yeah, I mean, imagine.
Yeah, there's no rules on the side of Colony to block the ADC steal.
We were so close to an ADC steal on the first Drake. I'm not
it was there.
It was there. Honestly, it happened. There was just like a ghoul there.
Yeah.
Anywho, so pick up the Stopper Drake, big for the colony. They also have managed to get themselves a 1k gold lead. However, that does mean they are down the Otacon buff, which will be providing additional experience as well as a rather potent active ability. Should any of them get killed?
Oh, it's all the same buff now, right?
There's
It just picks up all the petals on the map.
Picks up all the petals, and then it still gives the epic monster buff?
No. So what it does is, it does, if you kill an enemy, a burst goes out from their corpses, and Camp's going to be in trouble here. Hooks up a goblin, but here comes Woofy. Nice cyclone onto the entire team of Spermwhales, but now he's going to be in trouble. Flashes to try and buy some space for the ADC, but Tsunami is on a rampage, and the goblin damage does not stop as the Spermwhales are crushing the colony.
They probably should have just let the Thresh die.
Yeah, I mean they look to take a fight there. I think when you see the portal come through, right? I think that's something that you do have to kind of get used to, especially in the game. It's like a danger sign. Wow, the W came in clutch there for I'm Yordle.
Oh, Flash on D with the sniper movement manages to
curve that bullet around Yordle
Beast with the final shot of the curtain call.
I did not know you could bend bullets in this game, because I would have never expected that one to hit past Yordle. What a look. And I mean, Spermwhales came out. They're looking to just punch Colony in the mouth and remind them, hey, yeah, we're the 12th seed. It does not matter to them. They're looking to give issues. They're looking to cause problems and kind of shake up the bracket a good bit.
Yep. They have about a 2K gold lead, 2.5K gold lead over Colony right now. So we'll see if the scaling does pan out for Colony side.
Mm-hmm. I think the big worry, I think, probably with their with the scaling is that there's a lot of, not so much peel. That's not the word I want to use. They have a lot of disruptors on the side of Spermwhales, just between Bard and Yorick and Ambessa. These are characters that are either really mobile or will constantly put something in your face and make it hard. Yeah, look at where, I don't know, has the magical journey, though. Bird is the one in more danger.
Yeah, Bird getting attacked here by support jungle, and using the ultimate to go to the other side of Yordle as a little escape plan there.
Mm-hmm. One of my favorite things to do on Ambessa is use enemies' teammates as a getaway plan. Because you think the immediate reaction is, oh my god, why was my teammate there? And you realize that they had very little control over it in that moment.
Yeah, it's fun to watch, that's for sure. The Bird flying away to safety.
That is a 60 CS lead for the Mundo in top lane, though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Bird is not having a fun time.
One of the bright spots here right now for the Colony is going to be this Mundo. It's relatively difficult for the side of the Colony to deal with. Nice hook, but Magical Journey takes the IDK just out to safety.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to try to cut down this Mundo, basically. I think they're probably going to imply something. I wonder what you guys' opinion on this. If you're ever playing with your team and there's a really, really tanky character in the game, especially in my head, I think Mundo, Ornn, and Scion. This is one of those games, if you're on Spermwhales and you're telling your team, just ignore the Mundo. I don't know how possible that is, and I always try to explain to my team that ignoring a tank is not as easy as it would seem. But
yeah,
especially if you're carry. Here comes a Woofy, one shot with the combo from Beast. However, Woofy now going to be alone in the enemy lines, but here comes the TP from the Mundo. Does not get cancelled. Woofy going to die, but it looks like Spermwhales still want to fight. Tsunami here trying to buy space. Maz SP as well. Yordle will gladly take them on. Will be moving forward. Gets one Heartsteel stack for their trouble. Now is going to be trapped inside it, and he's absolutely getting shredded here. Going to be the target of this Jhin ultimate, forced to pop their own ultimate. Is able to get away, but now Galson taking quite a bit of damage. Good stun there from the Dark Horizon. Tsunami going incredibly low. Tsunami's going to be taken out. That is absolutely massive for the Drake fight coming up here.
Yep, because that is soul for
look at Bird's TP here.
TP, that's huge hook from the camp. It's going to lock them down instantly. They try to go into the back line, but it is not enough. And Bakuda Beast goes here as well. Maz SP is now here to deal the AoE. I am Yordle looking to screen off the mid laner from their carries, but has to respect those cues.
Yeah. Maz does a whole lot of damage. Yeah, I don't know, is back in the fight after dying at the beginning of it. This Bard ult is very important because if it hits onto Galson, I think that's going to be Spermwhales' ghost shot.
Woofy's back
Maz will
up,
get hit.
Woofy's cycloning in the back line. Shutdown goes over, but Camp dies as well. Woofy looking to do damage, but Lash on D is now back as well, and we are respawning and coming to fights. It is messy, and I love it. They are managed to pick up the Ocean Drake, and now Lash on D is going to be in a little bit of trouble. Woofy going forward with the Playful Trickster. Does not quite have the E back up, but is going to be able to get the shutdown, that 782 gold, into the pocket of the Monkey King.
And with that, Colony has a lead again.
Yeah, this one's gonna go back and forth, it would seem. And I mean, the big thing there, I feel like, was Colony's vision control. They knew when Amaz was gonna go for a flank. They knew, and Delash on D had to step up really far just to be able to auto someone. Wasn't able to see them. Same happened to Maz. SP was not ready to get hit by that Thresh hook.
No.
And I think that vision control, and they're at these fights first, and they're getting picks even when they're not, and that is the key they need to kind of get back into this Drake lead, because right now I feel like that is what's buying time for That was supposed to be what was buying time for Spermwhales, right? And putting the pressure onto this Veigar, onto this Kaisa, onto this Mundo to kind of get strong fast.
And now we have 2 Ocean Drakes on a Mundo, who's ahead.
Yeah. But I do think one thing, my only criticism of this Mundo game so far is that this is all HP right now in the Mundo build.
Yep.
So can't really, and these are some characters, right? Jin and Rise and Yorick do not, these are 3 characters who are like, okay, congratulations, you have a bunch of HP. Eat this damage.
Okay. Gonna be stunned up in the face of Bakuda Beast. Huge W damage there. Bakuda Beast scaling quite nicely. Also, no sign of Mundo building any armor, because I'm pretty sure that's Overlord's Bloodmail coming out next.
No armor, no resistances in the build, period. And
hey, he's
obviously
steel caps.
Oh, flash forward to Camp looking for the hook. Does not quite find it on Maz SP. This build is, I'm pretty sure, something. Ooh, getting out.
Wow, what a
later
immune
there with the W.
Baron
Yordle taking a ton of damage, forced to flash ult away.
Instant Baron call.
Really,
Maz
really good pull
is
of
gonna
pressure
be
there.
Maz is kind of looking. Seems like they're moving. There's the Realm
Warp is available. And it goes over to the side of the Colony regardless, but they're all stunned up. Woofy is going to be cycloning in the enemy team. Flashes over the wall, is able to stay alive.
Wow.
Great plays.
A great Bartle from I don't know. Yes, it is. Tempered Fate. Amazing Tempered Fate coming out from I don't know, but was nullified because they were like, we saved our flashes for this exact moment. 2 flashes out of the Yorick cage setup after the Bard ult, and Woofy had his own flash to get out of there. There are no flashes on the what I'd imagine are the big 3 of the Colony at the moment. So now you've got to look at what does this next Drake fight look like.
And because Spermwhales instantly use that realm warp to go up and contest the Baron, Yordle was actually able to take the bot inhib turret.
They're playing the 2 sides of the map really hard right now. I think this is around the time where I'd want to see Tsunami kind of send Maiden on a side lane, right? To either slow down the Mundo, right? She does max HP damage as well, so it's not like that's the easiest thing in the world for him to handle. But they do have to have all hands on deck to kind of deal with this push coming out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there is some
Bird is.
Ultimate coming out here from Bird, finding Bakuda Beast, but a nice lantern. Gonna mean that they are going to be safe
hard on this.
Woofy
Bird
hanging out in the jungle. Gonna go forward there onto Bird, uses Playful Trickster to disengage. They don't want to take this fight just yet.
Yeah. Look how much damage the ghouls do to Mundo. But look how much damage Mundo does to Tsunami.
Yeah, so
Maiden dealing it back at this point.
We are going to see a fight here.
I
The
don't know.
stun, the primordial burst just
Never had a
destroys
chance.
IDK. And now Bird looking to go into the back line, but that's not quite the play you want to make. Now Woofy is going to be cycloning on the top of Tsunami as Jin falls in mid lane as well. It is a slaughter in favor of the Colony as they bring it around town. 6k gold lead, and they might look to end the game here.
Yep, they have over a wave.
See what Maz can do here is probably the strongest person on their team, and it's gonna move the minions forward.
I don't hate that
to
because it did pull
the
wave.
cannons.
If there was another wave
right
behind
now,
it, that would have been genius.
Yeah, that would have been huge.
Too much structure damage coming out here. Goes golden, but that will be game one going over to the side of the colony.
Yeah, Spermwhales put a lot of pressure on, but the colony came together, had a few big plays. As the game started to wind down, took those back-to-back drakes, and it ended up being exactly what they needed.
Yeah, and there was too much action, so I couldn't quite get this out. That Mundo build, I have seen, there's an Alois short where he talks about it, so he calls that Machine Gun Mundo. Because the idea is what you do is you auto attack reset with your E, then you auto attack reset with Titanic Hydra, and it's just because Titanic Hydra buffs your auto attack so much, it's just a ton of 80 damage that comes out in like half a second. And it works on towers.
Yeah, that checks out. Jesus. I'll keep that in mind. I'll keep that in mind if they play it again.
Yep. I wonder if they'll let him have that Mundo again. That was very hard to deal with for the Spermwhales.
I think they're probably going to go back to the drawing board on a few different picks. I'm very curious to see what they look at in the jungle. Right, I feel like the Yorick was fine, but it felt like it didn't quite hit its fever pitch, didn't hit its potential, didn't quite get to where it was supposed to go.
Ooh, yeah. I mean, it was really back and forth. Both teams had moments they could have won. Wales looked to be in a pretty commanding lead in the mid-game. So I'm excited to see what happens next. I'm excited to see what the draft adaptations are. I haven't said it yet, and I need to. The Colony's logo is S tier. Okay?
It is very good.
It's so... And is that Jace, Gragas, Yasuo, Ashe? Who's
that is Poppy Hammer, Gragas. Shoot, that's Foolish on Yasuo, and then Ashe and Zyra.
Which we did not see any of them play.
Correct. Well, Foolish isn't playing.
Okay,
so
listen, I don't know that.
Well, you can look and see Bakuda and not Foolish.
Well, but I don't know. Listen, I don't know that Foolish is the Zyra, right? For all I know, Bakuda is the Zyra, right? You feel?
No, it's in order. Top, jungle, mid, ADC bot. Or ADC support.
That do it.
Okay.
It's okay.
Brain broken. Is that... Wait. So they've swapped around who's where then? Because so there's someone who would be playing support who isn't support.
No, a camp is support.
So is that a camp Zyra?
Yeah, it's his most played champion.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
So then wait, which one? I'm confused. Don't worry about it.
I am Yordle, likes Poppy a lot.
Great.
Luffy loves the Chaos and Bomba possibility of Gragas. Apparently that is Yone. I apologize. Foolish is spectacular at throwing lane on the wind shitters.
Yep. Opposite the best of us.
Galson, he's not here to defend himself, so whatever. Galson has a really, really consistent Ashe, and Galson's positioning in team fights is usually very good. If you notice, Kaisa was able, other than that ill-fated dive bot, their positioning around team fights is pretty darn solid. And Acamped loves disruptors of all sorts. Good. I said throw the lane, not throw a lead. It's implied he doesn't have a lead.
A little intra-team flame going on. Always love to see it.
Mm-hmm.
It's inner team, not intra. Intra would imply in between different teams.
No, that would be inter. Intra is internal.
Intramuscular. Yeah, you're right. Never mind.
Woo!
I
I'm out
took
of my-
Latin for medical people. I promise.
This is a completely. We've got a scientist and a medical. Like we got science and medical in the same place, and I'm over here with my
Val,
head
it gets
towards my
better.
English major.
It gets better. My undergrad was in engineering. I almost became a
Yeah.
biomedical engineer.
Not me. STEM scares me lots. I will stick with my words
Words good.
and
Okay.
feelings. I will stick with my words, feelings, and emotions.
Hey, I now work in behavioral health. Does that count?
That does count as well.
And I'm working on research. That's a lot of writing.
God.
Not the fun type of writing, but it is writing.
No. It's like, how could you be as pedantic and like pompous sounding as possible?
Yep.
Is there a word that I
research-
can use that has more syllables?
Yes, all the time. There always is.
Not always. At a certain point, it's just, yeah.
Almost always.
Yeah.
How do I join? Well, you can join the Discord and look for a team. We are currently finishing up our spring season. There will be likely some off-season shenanigans. However, in terms of official seasons, we aren't going to be back until the fall. We run a spring and a fall season. Summer is just a little bit too chaotic with everyone taking vacation. It ends up being a little bit of a shit show. So, yeah, you can join the Discord. You can bring your own team and apply, or there's a free agent channel you can try and get picked up in. My advice, if you're coming in solo, would be to, get involved in some community stuff, whether it be in houses or just random people playing. There's some related events also that go along in our general sphere. I know the High Alert had like an invitational thing that was big preseason. I feel like they'll probably do more of that this summer, right?
Yep, they sure will. Also, TFT League is starting if you're a TFT player as well. Well, they already accepted teams, so I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But some teams
There may
will probably
be
still take on.
some sub positions for the team still available.
Mm-hmm.
I'm on a team. I think I know 2 other people on my team, but apparently we have a full team.
I am on a team as well.
Oh no, Foolish is in chat.
Oh, hi, Foolish.
What flames me?
Hi, Foolish. I hope you're having a good weekend.
Yeah. More than 72 teams next season? I don't know. That's not a me question.
Yeah, we do not know. But
that's like what do we have like staffing capacity and ability to do? Because, managing 72 teams is a lot.
Yeah, 72 is a lot, and we barely manage, 80, 90. I think last season we had close to 90 or something. And that season was a lot on the shoulders of creative team, staffing, roster staffing, moderation.
Wait,
so,
70. I'm sorry, I need to know, what did Foolish Sucka get 18th in?
The Digimon Regional Championship.
Oh.
Nice.
Dare I ask 18 out of how many? Oh, Loki, I do see that Galson is apparently having some client issues. Not to, get you excited or anything.
Oh no.
I'm sure Camp has a mean Cinna.
We already have a plan for if that happens.
It's okay. You don't reveal strategies on stream.
I'm not.
Keep it locked. Keep it locked.
Oh, it.
I'm sure it'll work.
Oh. Well, I'm gonna go get myself some tea to fortify myself. I will be back in a minute.
Maz SP6 hitting us with the tier 1 sub. Thank you so much, Maz SP6. You know what you're going to do. You're going to go to the last remaining Denny's in Vermont. Talk to our buddy Todd. Pancakes or waffles are on us. Syrup costs you extra. And bacon, actually, if you're involved in the low-budget LCS, is an additional cost beyond what it would normally be. That's how we kind of, offset the free pancakes and waffles. Camp, thank you as well. You know what you're going to do. Go to the Denny's in Vermont, talk to our buddy Todd. Pancakes are on us, as is waffles, as is bacon for you only. Because you hit that past 24 months mark, you get the bacon. Definitely not a pyramid scheme. Non-worker termites cannot feed themselves directly. I feel like that is poetic for League of Legends,
Yeah.
If you can't feed yourself directly, you got to feed your teammates.
And your teammates have to feed you. Vice versa.
And the world goes around. Hey, Game 1, Yumi versus Jarls tomorrow. Oh, I am also going to be streaming a game tomorrow. Let me go figure out which one. I think it might be... I put it somewhere. Financial quarters, Weez & Sons versus a fresh start. I'm planning on streaming.
Ooh, fresh start. Obviously had the massive upset over Sisters of the Loam, who completed one of the first, probably the most recent perfect season, right? 8-0, 16-0.
Yeah, what happened
8-0 series. A fresh start. It was a close, series. Fresh start kind of just brought it to just made it like a dogfight, right? One of the easiest ways to kind of beat a team that is either perceived to be or just might be better than you is to kind of turn it to chaos. And I think they did a good job of that. It was a 3-game series. It was a good one too. So yeah. It was a good one, and obviously, I think definitely off the back of their jungler Hugh Jass, and
what did I just walk back into?
We were talking about
Jazz, right?
Hugh Jass. Yeah.
Oh,
Jass. Jass.
Oh, why just not do Jazz? Jazz.
Well, I'm omitting the last part of his name because his full name is Hugh Jass 69. He's an on the nose guy. But they also have T1 Zeus and IG the Shy. They definitely had a roster that, at the start of the season, obviously they're in the same pot as Sisters of the Loom. So on paper, you'd put them in the same spot. But obviously that turned into an absolute dogfight. They had a big series, so that'll be an exciting one to watch. In this series, though, Spermwhales came out swinging. Game 1 weren't quite able to close it. Colony kind of shaped up. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see what Spermwhales do for Game 2 because I think Colony are definitely going to be more on guard for this next game.
Loki, hit me with some termite facts. I want to know more about these little creatures. And their place in society and our broader ecological system.
Okay, well, as a place in society, U.S. residents spend an estimated $5 billion annually to control and repair the damage of them.
Val and I were talking about that pregame. We were like, should we just go into termite damage control and reconciliation?
I mean, what can you say? The termites built things up. They definitely eroded away the strong points of the sperm whales, and then they just allowed the structural damage to take everything down at once after one successful team fight.
Nice. Yeah, I was reading about termites. Apparently, they split from wood-eating, I want to say cockroaches it was, during the Jurassic or Triassic era.
Okay.
I didn't know
Well,
wood
because
eating
wood hadn't been
cockroaches were a
around.
thing.
Yeah. Just like ants and wasps are all descended of like the same branch. There's the other branch that has cockroaches and termites, and then another branch that is all the beetles. There's more species of beetles than like every other species combined. Beetles rule this earth, by the way.
Okay. If you're gonna come out swinging with that claim, I have to ask about crabs. Because carcinization is a real phenomenon, and the crab form is superior.
Ooh.
Are you
There
familiar
are
with
beetles
carcinization, Val?
Yes, because it's such
Not
an
even a little
efficient
bit.
body style. Oh, sorry.
So I'm listening, but like, you know how like when you're listening to people, people are listening to people talk about something that makes perfect sense. But you are completely unknowledgeable on the subject. So you're just like, yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I'm bringing Val along for the ride and the viewers at the same time. So if you're not familiar, carcinization is a evolutionary process that has been observed, where instead of your more traditional divergent evolution, where things become less similar as they evolve, there's convergent evolution of multiple different unrelated animals all becoming like crabs. They look like crabs. They've got pincers. They've got shells. It's magnificent. A bunch of different animals all spontaneously said this is the correct form. And I believe that is the future of the human race as well. Thank you for coming to my
The other form that did that a lot is worms.
Yeah, but that's cheating.
Why is that cheating? Mouth on one end, poop on the other.
Yeah, because
no limbs to get in the way.
It's like an early. Okay, the thing I like about crabs is that it's a long. How do I say? It's a more complicated form. Whereas worms, evolutionarily, if you look at like evolutionary biology, you go to like roundworms are really really early on, right? Because it's literally just like you have one tube that is digestive tract. Because like early organisms,
aren't there a lot of eukaryotes that are also worm forms?
Yeah.
Technically.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
sorry,
fundamentally, humans are big worm, right?
Yes.
We have digestive tract; it goes through us.
Yep.
But that's just you are a tube, right? Tube is easy,
Yep.
If tube can move and get nutrients, tube can multiply. What I love about crab is that crab has pincers, crab has many legs, crab has shells, fun eyes. There's lots of things about crab that make it very what's the word for it? Anthropomorphizable is how I'll call that.
But Snick.
But I don't think friend when I see worm. Worm is not friend shaped. Care to weigh in, Val? Is worm friend shaped, or is crab friend shaped, or are neither friend shaped?
I think they're both friend shaped.
As a gardener, I would argue that worms are fairly friend shaped, but also earthworms are an invasive species in North America. So I'm a little bit torn on it.
Looks like we are getting a different custom game here.
Yeah, it was bugged. Remember small indie company?
Yeah, there are some lobby issues going on, but it seems to have fixed itself. Or at least it's been fixed rather than fixing itself.
Yeah, so okay. I actually didn't know earthworms were invasive.
Yeah.
How did that occur? Was it just people bringing worms over on ships?
Pretty much, but it happened like Vikings.
Little Leif Erikson action.
Yeah. It happened a very, very long time ago, and it was probably in just food storages. Or
sense.
Even in the wood itself from the hulls of the ships. Because how they made them waterproof was basically by using like a sisal rope is one of the most common things, and you press it down into the seams of the ship, and then you put like tar or what's pine sap called?
Resin?
Resin. Yes, thank you. On top of it, the word was not there. The smell was there, the look was there, the function was there, the flammability was there, the name was not there.
Mm-hmm.
One way that invasive earthworms can be removed is through an act called worm grunting. Worm grunting is the act of vibrating a wooden stick that has been driven into soil to bring worms to the surface where they can be collected by hands. Oh, hang on. This is
They
fun.
think it mimics the percussion of heavy rain on the earth, because you know how worms come up in heavy rain?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's grunters that go out to collect worms for fishermen.
I have another fun way that this is done for you. Apparently, there's another way to remove invasive earthworms that is called a mustard pour, where you pour 1 U.S. gallon of water mixed with 1/3 of a cup of yellow ground mustard seed mixed together, and it brings them up to the surface.
It burns. They're kind of squidgy and mucusy, so I imagine that would not be fun. Uh-oh. Am I going to have to play in this?
Looks like everybody on your side is on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Looks good.
Oh, okay. Yay! I am relieved.
Mustard pours. That's interesting. Well, if the whales have a bunch of mustard, they could try pouring it on the colony to win this game, but we are going to get into draft. As we do see bands coming out look pretty similar to round 1. I'm going to be real.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah. And this time...
Could one of you look at it so I can see?
Ooh, yes. Here.
I can also send you a link here real quick.
Oh, that would also be useful. Especially because my Discord's being extra slow. Let's see.
Merci beaucoup.
De rien. Mundo will be banned, as will Yorick, so the problem champions for each team going to be taken out. Jarvan will be first pick here for the colony, aka Bug.
Yeah, and I was about to say that I'm interested in what Spermwhales will do in the jungle because Yorick and Amumu seem to be Tsunami's main 2 picks. They dropped one of their bans from the last series, specifically the Mel ban, to take away the... Okay, I know this is an early pick, but there's no way this is Urgot jungle, right?
I don't think
that would
so.
be really fucking funny.
So their top laner has only played 2 top lane champions, Mundo and Urgot. They also play a Mumu, and that's banned.
So
it is going to be
that would be
the
colony's top laner or Whale's top laner?
Whale's top laner. Yordle plays Yordles, so that's more than 2 champions.
It's true. And Mundo, apparently.
Yes, and Ornn.
Yep.
We give him cookies and he'll play Ornn for us.
Only if you give him cookies, though.
Well, we give him cookies afterwards to pacify the tantrums.
Reasonable.
However,
playing tanks is not fun.
We don't know where that Poppy is going, because Acamped also loves support Poppy.
I also really like this Poppy pick when you've already selected the Jarvan, because one of the canonical counters to Jarvan is to put Poppy somewhere and then he can never EQ. By having the Poppy on your team, they can't do that.
Also, you don't get to go anywhere field going in with a Jarvan just gives him a really nice, good target for his ult.
And you can slam them into the walls of Cataclysm.
Yep.
So win.
And then Verisult on top.
Between these 2 characters.
Ooh, taking away the Thresh here.
There are multiple champions with go-away movement abilities in the Maokai and Thresh on the Whale side.
So far, a lot of beef for the Whales. A lot of fighting for Bug. How do we think they're going to round these comps out?
I think we're gonna see a mid counter pick, last pick counter pick for Maz SP. I think had a really strong game one, and I think they're realizing, okay, well, if we can play around getting Maz into these fights, getting Maz something that'll can pop off, that'll be huge. On the side of the colony, right, you have this Poppy that can still be flexed, so we'll likely see the mid pick on 4, and then either the top of the support pick on 5 to kind of hold this flex out as long as possible. And I think Spermwhales are kind of making the right decision. I mean, when there's a flex pick in the game, you can always make the decision to kind of inch one pool to try and force the pick to go there rather than the other place. It seems like they're just like, you know what, we don't care where the Poppy goes. We're gonna ban Vagar, and then we're just gonna ban an annoying top laner that we don't want to deal with into the Urgot. So I'm interested to see where they go as 2 ADC bans are gonna come out. The Lash on D, I feel like the Ezreal is on the table here for the Lash on D. A pretty strong pick of theirs. I could also see something like the Kaisa. But Maz is going to take the play instead on 4 here and saying, Grimy, do your worst, Bakuda.
Does Poppy stop Xayah ult?
No.
Okay.
Because she's not dashing. She's just going up.
Yeah. She just hops up into the...
Which, also, fun fact, you can't Xayah ult out of Jarvan Cataclysm. I really like picking Jarvan into Xayah because Xayah thinks she's safe because she still has ult, but then when she comes back down, she's still trapped in there.
Mm-hmm. So the Swain mid is actually also a takeaway because Masp has played quite a bit of Swain this split in ranked.
Yeah. Oh well, Maz is.
But Hwei was already taken, so.
Yeah, but I think one of the cool things, Maz has probably the most unique champs played of any player. Period. This split has only played
19.
repeat champs. 19's a lot, as the Corki's going to come through here. Something aggressive to get on top of the Varus and kind of... I like this bot matchup, Varus and Renata versus Corki and Thresh. We're going to see hands thrown here in the bot lane. I'm really excited to see how that ends up.
Absolutely.
Yeah, very exciting. I already see quite a bit of synergy coming here through for the side of the colony. I like that whenever Jarvan will ult, Swain will probably get a guaranteed W. I like that
on top of it.
Yeah, there's a lot of single target FU that can be done. However, there are 3 main threats here for the side of Spermwhales, so not going to be completely over here, but way relatively immobile. Even Urgot, if you're ahead, could get deleted there. So it's going to be interesting to see. On the other hand, Maokai is an incredible ganking tool. Just absolutely insane. Love banning Maokai because there are certain combinations with him that are just unplayable. Like Maokai Nocturne is extremely obnoxious. We don't have a Nocturne in this game, but we do have Maokai.
Oh. Yep. The Maokai ult with the Hwei poke will be delightful. Corki... It'll be interesting to see how Corki's able to play around the Poppy. Yordle could really shut down the Corki's mobility in team fights.
Yeah, that's one thing.
Yeah.
That can be tricky, especially with Corki. Short range ADC that has to deal with Varus, Swain, and Poppy and Jarvan. Right, this is not going to be easy. But if
Renata too.
Yeah, Renata too. Like there is. This last pick is a little scary to me. I thought they'd go with something because I feel like an Ezreal here, maybe not perfect, but that slipperiness is going to be difficult for J4 and Poppy to stay on top of, and that might force them to overextend, which means that Urgot and Maokai and Thresh can maybe get onto the Varus, which I feel like is going to be huge because that's one of the big sources of AD damage coming out here for
Absolutely.
Probably the only source of AD damage coming out for the colony.
A lot's going to
But
be on that Renata ult to turn that, if that does happen, though. But if Renata ult's
Mhm.
not there, Varus is a little bit... Well, I don't know. The Poppy, too.
yeah.
I
Well,
don't know.
what I'm
That's
interested to see
pretty
here
good
is
draft.
it is a great draft coming out from the Colony, and I think it's honestly a similarly good draft coming out from Spermwhales. What I'm really curious on though is just how they're going to play it. Right, this Corki seems like it's in a tough situation, but there are other bruisers here, right? With the
Yes.
Corki, Maokai and Thresh are going to be able to buy some space and time and make some space and time for the Corki. So I'm interested to see just how they play it because both of these teams came out basically firing. I don't think either of them played bad in game one. So I'm
Not at all.
curious. So I'm really curious on to how they are going to look in this game.
And the Urgot is not something you can generally ignore in team fights either. So they will have to really focus down priorities in team fights or confuse priorities and be able to get out a bunch of damage.
Yeah. Urgot going to also be far more potent than the Poppy here on the side, especially as we go into the late game. That will be interesting to see how that ends up being dealt with. Yeah. I don't know, I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it goes. I'm excited to see what happens. I'm sad that there is no Wukong. It was left open. You could have picked it, and you didn't. And you know what? That's on you.
But Luffy got
Yeah.
Jarvan.
Yeah, Luffy loves Jarvan. I was going to say, we don't know. I mean, he could just go lethality this game and throw what we have out the window.
The chance of Luffy not going lethality is
Low.
very low. Like, we are approaching that limit on 0.
All right.
Yeah.
Slash poll. Which Jarvan build is Luffy going to get?
That's as good of a poll as the as an actual prediction, to be completely honest with you.
I don't think I've ever seen him build anything but
I've seen him like maybe wean a bit off, go some, because we had a conversation about this. I believe I played lethality Jarvan mid this season, but my build was
Oh, it's a Hui bot. It's Corki mid.
Ooh.
Oh. Well, I'll be damned.
That's another new champion.
That is, yeah, Maz SP adds another notch to the unique champions tab. We hit 20.
Luffy. Also, Luffy is Luffy, right?
Yes.
Luffy?
And so Luffy is actually Monkey D. Luffy, future king of the pirates.
Unfortunately, yes.
Yeah.
God bless. Okay. Cool. Just making sure.
What's crazy is that either Hui or Corki would have been a new unique champ for Maz SP. At some point, I feel like it has to be intentional to pick this many unique champs.
If he hadn't played Aurora twice and Bard 3 times, I would say he's doing his own personal fearless draft throughout the entire season.
I really would believe that even this many, like, I tried my best not to pick the same champ multiple times, and I still ended up doing it right. I played multiple games of Silas this season, and I think I'm multiple games of Gragas as well. But it's very impressive, regardless of the result of the series, to have this much success as a team without really returning to anything, at least in the mid lane. I'm curious to see how it'll go. But Lash on D, new unique champ would have, like on the Corki, hey, that would also be a new champ this season for the Lash on D. So, new things. Spermwhales waiting has been around all season, but it's had tricks up their sleeve.
Now, what key do you all run Flash on?
F.
You're wrong. It's Delash on D.
No, I'm not.
All day, every day. It's Delash on D.
I've played since season 1. The consensus of the pros when they did the poll in the beginning of season 2 was that Flash goes on F.
Yeah, they said that. And they can be wrong, and that's fine.
I'm older than you. Listen to your elders. F goes on Flash. Sit down, child.
No, because F is for Smite, okay?
In the same,
I put Smite on D.
It's very interesting that
Luffy,
that
I'm
the
gonna be
Dion
out
Flashers had to create a new word to justify their blasphemy.
I might join Luffy in drowning you tonight, Papa.
Well, I'm almost done with all of the alcohol that I have, so.
Oh.
I only had like an eighth of a bottle of vodka left, so.
Oh, okay.
Unfortunate, but.
D is for damage. There we go.
Hey, that's crazy. That's crazy. Nice rhyme. I like it. It's wrong, but I like it.
D is also for damage prevention because I run exhaust a lot.
I mean, to play devil's advocate here, right? I have Flash on F, but there is a championship-winning econ team named Flash for damage, so Yeah,
Flash
that's flashing forward.
Flash for damage. Damage is D. Checkmate.
Wait.
That being
who
said,
voted for Bruiser? They're wrong.
Wow.
And I know Luffy can hear me right now.
Wait, he went Conqueror.
That doesn't scream lethality to me. I don't know.
Oh, is he actually going to go like?
9,
what is
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16,
Dead
17,
man's.
19, 20, 21, 22, 23.
There we go, we're good.
Okay, we're good.
Yep. We are all together.
Top lane shenanigans this time.
I'm worried about Bird because usually, and I've been guilty of this top laner. When I'm late to lane, I do not do my due diligence. Wow, alliteration. I'm in 0.5 somehow.
They're gonna be walking through here. Bird's gonna spot them out, but it's not. Handshake goes through. Flag is thrown, but there is no drag. I'm holding on. Do you need me to pause?
59 minute and 1, minute and 2. Am I behind or?
I think we're right on. We're right on.
Cool. I somehow my client went into slow-mo.
I noticed that. I was wondering why they were walking so slowly. I switched to Papa Buzz stream.
Perfect.
Oh, am I streaming in Discord?
Yeah.
Oh,
it's actually better quality than Val's.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm using a laptop. That would definitely do it.
I do have Nitro and Fiber.
I have Fiber.
Actually, so little fun fact about my household for y'all: we pay for 2 separate internet connections so that we have a redundancy. And I actually believe no hook lands there from IDK, but handshake from a camped saying I'm the superior engaged support player. I firmly believe that if you are a hardcore gamer or someone who is highly dependent on your internet connections, just pay for 2 if they're affordable. Like, split 3 ways, an additional $60 a month is so worth it to have an additional ISP should one ISP shit the bed.
Yeah, so I have to pay for everything myself. So no.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
What, you don't want roommates?
I mean, the cats sure don't contribute. The chickens aren't doing great either. The Hennons do pay butt nuggets for rent, I guess.
There is a mystery third caster, and his Loki Aurora is a Woofy going for the legendary level 2 gank on mid, and Maz SP getting taken incredibly low, but not quite gonna die. Flash forward, Yordle finding the damage, not quite gonna be able to get it. W's in, gets the first blood onto Bird there in the top lane, as we are gonna see trading immobilizations in the bot lane. Lots of damage there onto a camp from that eyeball root. Dlash on D, Dlashes forward, and a camp Dlashes to pay their respects.
I think camp should still stay smart because there's Way has that thing, the smite from above. Oh, but look where Galson is.
Ooh, and here goes another root being utilized so well here from Flash on D, but a nice handshake. Arrow's gonna miss. Yeah, IDK flashes away. This bot lane is an absolute pummel fest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Yordle got Yordle's main. So The Yordle supremacy is happening in top lane.
Do you think Yordles are like crabs? Everyone in Runeterra is just evolving towards Yordles?
No.
Alright.
No.
Yordles,
their lore with how their land exists is very Fey-ish now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're not just
with
the
the
goofy
portal.
fun guys anymore. I'm gonna be real. I miss the
they
old
still
lore.
are.
I know.
I do in a sense, but I definitely there's a lot of lore that's being reworked, I think, to be better. But I think with I'm more curious on how they're going to connect a lot of their new canon with old canon, because even in the old lore, I felt like there were a lot of oversights. So
Sure.
I'm curious to see.
It wasn't cohesive.
Yeah,
and remember, the whole
curious
thing
on how
was
they
that
put
you
things
were a
together.
summoner. Oof.
Yeah.
Only you
Mid
can
lane
hear me,
shenanigans?
summoner. We are going to see I am Yordle. Oh, the W is disgusting! And Lollipoppy takes him down once again. The second solo kill here for I am Yordle in the top lane. They might be down 10 CS, but they do not care.
Yordle's cooking his own cookies up there. I don't need to get him anything.
I mean, hey, and that is one of the things about this matchup is definitely that Urgot's probably got one of the more telegraphed engages of all time. He charges up for like a full half second, and Yordle, obviously a lot of playtime on the Poppy, is going to be able to press that W key when needed. So it's definitely going to have to be a bit of an adaptation. Bird's going to have to play with the timing, play when this purge comes out, because otherwise it's going to be really hard to get anything done in this lane, especially on the aggressive end. But is farming well, and I think is keeping up in gold because of that. It's only 400 down right now, but that lead will continue to go up if things don't go their way. Maz SP, and another thing about this Corki Swain matchup is that I think as Corki, if you get pulled away, you kind of just maybe trade burst, right? You get pulled towards him, but you can W in.
Tsunami coming down here. Camp's going to be in trouble. Goes for the handshake to try and fend him off, but it's not going to go well. Q goes forward. Galson gets hooked, is forced to cleanse it. Camp trying to kite away so that they can live. A nice arrow going to land, do a bunch of damage on Yadi K, but Camp might have bought enough time. Here comes a Woofy. Flag and Drag is going to be available. Knockup will be found there onto Tsunami. Tsunami's going to be 1 HP. An arrow coming across. Can it find it? It can. The Feat of Warfare does go over to the side of the colony, and that is going to probably be the last of this bot play, unless we have an EQ back in again. Flash on D taking damage is going to be forced to utilize the barrier. Here comes an arrow, and Galson snipes another.
Galson on point. Can't miss one. I mean, Yordle is starting it up as well. Oof.
Yeah. Really nice arrows here from Galson. Really light play. I wanted to ask you, Loki, can Uwufi EQ Flash?
Yes.
All right.
He's better than me. I don't know why it doesn't click in my head. I can't do it.
I've never tried it.
You should try it in practice tool sometime. It's just like, you just have to like wait for your body to be in the air is the main thing.
But then I'd have to ever play Jarvan.
Yeah, it's true. As we are going to see. Ooh. Oh my god.
Oh no.
Yordle with the third solo kill of the match. Another solo bolo up there in the top lane. And a nice little root there coming off the TP from Bakuda Beast.
Yep. And Yordle is getting ahead and fast. And if this Poppy is too strong,
Tsunami, you're in trouble. There's going to be a wall bash there. Tsunami going forward. W not going to be used quite in time to get the stun there. But a Camp is going to be here. Likely has another handshake in a moment. Lots of max health damage. And the shield bash auto comes through. Woo! That is 4 kills now for this Poppy in the top lane.
So Colony's absolute favorite way to play is quick, roamy, and chaotically. This is exactly what they like to do.
And, the stronger this Poppy gets, I think the harder it gets for Corki to play this game. And that's going to be big. That's going to be a big hurt for the side of them.
Ooh, ultimate not going to be hit there from Galson. Flash on D does manage to land the Hwei ultimate. But Galson is going to be alive for now. And also, Colony got that first straight. Currently getting the grubs. On their way to winning the neutral battle.
2k gold lead on Colony at 8.5 minutes.
And I feel like they've definitely come into this one woken up.
I want to see Loki if you can put a couple of threads together for me, right? So I'm gonna tell you something about the playoff standings for sperm whales, and then I want to see if you can connect it to a sperm whale fact. All right. So sperm whales, they beat I believe it was Soy Milk Lifestyle in round 1 of playoffs, if I'm not incorrect there, Val.
Say again? Sorry.
Soy Milk Lifestyle was who sperm whales beat to get here.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And the team that's waiting for the winner of this match in the semifinals is 2% milk.
This is true.
So the sperm whales beat a milk team and would play a milk team next. Is there a whale fact that ties into that?
They're mammals.
Woo!
And they lactate. Baby sperm whales will nurse like exclusively for the first year, but then will continue to nurse for several more years. So the poor mommy whales have to nurse their babies for like 5 years.
Flash forward, Hook's gonna land there. Nice. Prison as well. Galson gonna land the ultimate though, and a nice run out ult. Gonna keep Accamp alive for now. Dodges the twisting advance. Huge play here from Galson and Accamp.
Wow, they are refusing to be caught unaware.
Oh, going forward, that's going to be a Woofy. Finding lots of damage there onto Tsunami, but a nice Lantern's going to keep them alive for now. EQ's going to be back up soon. Q's going to do it, though. Woofy will claim that kill. Also, someone in chat is saying, Val, if you see this, when guilty gear. And Woofy's not done. EQ going to go in, but a nice flay from IDK. Soon TM. Love that.
My favorite answer to anything.
Woofy is not letting the pressure up here on the bot lane.
He hung out long enough for Galson and Accamp to get that wave shoved in so they could get a really good back timing to set up for the Drake, I believe. So they have better prio for the Drake spawn.
Yeah, 55 seconds here on that dragon. 2.5k gold lead for the side of the colony. But hey, we saw a big flip-flop last game. We might see another one this game.
Mm-hmm. Yordle has pulled ahead in CS, so that lead is forcing Beard off of that wave.
Yep, it's big now. Definitely a kind of
oh gosh, is that 2 plates taken as well in top lane?
Yep.
Goodness, 2 solo plate.
That is a 1,500 gold lead here at 11 minutes for the Poppy.
Yeah,
that's a big Yordle.
So ahead. Poppy's so ahead. You know, highest level in the game, most gold in the game. It is dangerous, and Slash on D does not know that
Slash on D.
the...
Oh, don't walk up. That's going to be the handshake. That's going to be the EQ. Barrier comes out.
Oh.
Ooh, flash away, but Cataclysm available. Woofy.
Held that the whole time.
Gonna be able to pick that up. Now Tsunami looking here on Kuda Beast. Has a Thresh, but I don't know if they quite have the damage. Gonna be up to Maz SP to come help deliver that. Nice hook is gonna land. Maz SP going forward, but Kuda Beast has that ultimate. Twisting Advance utilized. Berserk's only going to land on to the back line. Tsunami, though, is going to get deleted as a Woofy and crew have made it up from the bot side. They are looking to push in this mid-wave and take down the Drake.
Colony are all over the map. They are making sure that it is near impossible for Spermwhales to get a breath. You know, Maz SP obviously avoids dying there, is able to back and get the Essence Reaver. And, you know, right now, definitely Maz and Delash are kind of looking to try not to die, get their items in, make things happen.
Yeah.
So, and kind of crawl back into this game, because I feel like their scaling's actually quite solid with the play. Obviously, Thresh is good at all stages of the game, and this Maokai's only going to get tinkier and more useful. And obviously, we've got on-hit Varus coming out here, so it's scary. But I think there is an angle here, but it definitely requires less. It requires things to go a bit better. For Spermwhales, maybe a bit safer play and kind of being able, maybe tracking Luffy a hair better will definitely give them a better shot as.
Oh, Bird's getting taken incredibly low. Forced to flash out there in the top lane. The small hammer of Demacian Justice is terrorizing the Rift right now.
Colony, I believe, has the fastest win time for the regular season in economy.
That would make sense, as we're going to see Yordle dive the turret, throws down the big hammer, gets the solo kill. That is their 5th of the game.
I don't think Maokai wins that.
No.
It's the fastest game is Picker's in chat, so as soon as now that we've mentioned it, he'll tell us, but it's 19 or 17 minutes or something of the sort.
We're not counting. Because that was actually a forfeit by the enemy team because we were up, I think, 20 kills at 13 minutes.
Noted. So I assume it's okay. So it's
Maz SP gets EQ'd in the mid lane and Cataclysm goes down. Woofy is going crazy. This game also not building lethality.
Yeah.
Normal bruiser
I'm
build. Whoever
so
put that
proud
in,
of Luffy.
good.
Watch next item's lethality.
Yep, and then he goes lethality from Sundered Sky. I believe it.
Yeah,
I believe it.
There's opportunity or something. Now, okay, I do want to say this Sundered Sky item, it's good on certain characters, right? I think it's good on Jarvan. Yep. I think it's good on Wukong. I think there's a lot of chance. No, it's not.
You don't think it's good on Xin Zhao?
I think it is actively bait on Xin Zhao. I had been trying to make Xin Zhao work this season for a number of games because I like playing it in comp, but it just was not clicking this season for whatever. I kept getting destroyed until I was talking with if anyone know who Pabu is, he's like a pro in EU. And he was saying
it's actually Australia.
Yes.
Cool guy.
Originally Osh. He currently plays in the Middle Eastern League. And
TCL? Okay.
He was like, yeah, Sundered Sky absolute bait on Xin Zhao. You want to go Titanic into Cleaver every time. Because the auto attack reset from Titanic is so massive on Xin. And
I've seen a lot of Titanic into Sundered or the other way around. Just because I've seen a few absolutely insane Xin Zhao highlights with the Sundered, but I can kind of see the reasoning. But maybe I'm poisoned because the Xin Zhao I've been watching the most is Seer, and that guy, he can make anything look good. I think.
That's crazy. Yeah. That's crazy to hear Seer, and I understand he's been playing jungle, but Seer is perennial ADC.
The ADC. Yeah.
I think that's first turret.
Yeah, Bird. I mean, excellent use of the Poppy ult to send Bird out of there. Whales, I think, have done a good job of trying to slow down the game, right? Not as many deaths, and Maz SP is going to look hard here.
Going to be utilized here in the mid lane against Maz SP. The recast is going to be sent, as we're going to see Killing Spree in the bot lane for Galson, absolutely deleting Flash on D. Mid lane as well is going to fall in the background of the bot fight as we open up to a almost 6,000 gold lead for the side of the colony.
I might have caster cursed that one. I'm sorry. As soon as I said the game had slowed down, 2 kills happened on the map. That's my bad. Yeesh.
I always see Swain players and I think, this is a good Swain player. And then I think, when have I seen a bad Swain player?
I've tried to play
a couple of my solo queue games. there have been some interesting Swain players.
Flash on D just trying to get back to lane. Garvin Cataclysm is going to be available here, and there it goes. You aren't allowed. Get your CS.
Luffy has been all over the map, has been fighting everyone and anyone who even thinks about stepping to him, and has really put the emphasis on stopping Tsunami, on Flash on D, and kind of bringing the pressure to them in this game too, and it's working, right?
Does Flash on D run Flash on F?
Yes. And that's a known thing.
Oh, okay.
Even the people who rep your blasphemy know what the truth is.
That hurts me. I wish I had more vodka. We're going to see Poppy coming in here now, making their grand entrance onto the rest of the map.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Poppy just went in 1v3 and the enemy team
I went
just
in 1v3
left.
and the enemy team did not think about it. I mean, Bakuda Beast and Galston are like right there, right? You definitely don't want to try to 2v1, 2v3 the Poppy and Swain in a small corridor. But
I'm pretty sure the Poppy can close to 1v3 at this stage.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm going to pose a question to you two.
Mm-hmm.
What is a way back into the game for Spermwhales? Because we know I'm biased for Colony.
Listen.
Right. I think taking it slow, right? As Jordals is going crazy, but they have to take it slow.
They got Herald.
Because they just can't fight. As it stands, they cannot fight. It's not possible. They just have to see. I think it's going to be about numbers, right? Numbers and rotations. If they are able to kind of force some people onto one side of the map, maybe bait Colony into a play, as my game just froze. And I don't know if that's an internet thing or
I'm still going.
I can hear you.
All right, cool. All right, but you know, I think a big thing for them is like if they can put people on the side of the map and kind of maybe drive Colony to go one player, so now that they can get a turn and return, or maybe they can collapse 2 or 3 people onto a solo laner or onto Varus, right? I'd argue that right now they should just be looking for Varus
on D, looking for Yordle. Yordle is going to be rooted up here, and that's going to be 4 members into Yordle. Hook is going to land. This is likely going to be a relatively significant shutdown here for Maz SP on the Corki, and that is a great way to get back into the game.
Exactly, right? And it's literally just stuff like this, right?
But there's not a whole ton of additional damage coming off the back here. Uwufi going to be quite low on the back of this fight. Handshake going to take Tsunami pretty low. Cleanse going to be forced out of Galson from a nice hook there from IDK. Tsunami is now available, but Bakuda Beast is here, and Bakuda Beast has the Demonic Ascension, and that is not what you want to see if you are a Sperm Whale. Bird is going to be able to pick up a kill in there, but Bakuda Beast is running rampage on the back line there.
All that said, if you are Sperm Whales, you are taking a 2-for-2 every single day of the week. You do not care that the way it happened. But like I was saying, right? The first pick, the initial pick on the I Am Yordle is exactly what I think Sperm Whales are going to need to get back into the game. They need to just load one side of the map, right? And kind of get picks on people trying to walk to the jungle. Because one thing that happens when you're really ahead like this is that even when you're without your team, you can get really aggressive.
Mm-hmm.
You can get really aggressive and not realize that no matter, Poppy is strong, but there's a lot of CC on the side of Sperm Whales. If they can find a target, they can absolutely lock them down.
I am also experiencing a pause.
Okay. Hold on.
Is yours still going, Val?
Let's see. No, mine is also paused at 12:30.
I just went back 15 seconds. We're gonna see.
Okay.
Yeah, it's paused for me. It's paused at 12:30, regardless of where we are. I think
21:30. Yeah.
This is to maintain the spectator delay. So that we stay 3 minutes behind. I'm not sure what could be happening for it to not be maintained, though.
Okay.
Huh. Is there an in-game pause?
That's the bull. It feels like the only way that this would be happening right now. But I also don't know. I am unsure. I'm without explanation. I only have so many explanations that I am not sure are correct.
So Camped is still in game.
Mm-hmm. Everybody's still in game. Okay.
And the game timer is still ticking in the League client.
It is.
Not in Spectate, but I can physically
in Discord.
See. Yes, in Discord. So what I'm going to try to do here is I'm going to try to exit the game and go back into spectating at Camped. Or actually, can you try that first, Val?
Yeah.
And then I'm actually going to pop to the restroom real quick. So y'all can vamp. That'd be awesome.
Okay. Well, you're restarting. We can do another sperm whale fact. Should we do sperm whale fact?
I'm all ears.
Sperm whales were actually named for spermaceti, which is the waxy substance found in their heads. And that has been very relevant historically because it's used in oil lamps, lubricants, and candles historically. So they were the primary target for the whaling industry for 2 decades. Or 2 centuries. Yeah. Their population's still recovering. Yeah.
Oh, hold on. 20. Where were we? Yeah, okay. I'm back in and it's working. I will do my best not to spoil Wapapopa's in the washroom. I'll pause where I'm at, actually.
Okay.
And we'll pick up from where we'll pick up from there. Weird that happened. I have no idea what the yeah.
Would it be an LBLCS stream if something didn't go wrong with Spectate?
Absolutely not, right? It has to be. There has to be one thing that goes wrong, and I thought the lobby issue would clear us, but I guess they were like, no, it has to be specifically while you're in the game. And I was like, you know what? That's fair, right?
Not just tournament codes; it needs to be in the Spectate too. Different system, more problems.
Did that?
It did work.
Okay, so I should.
Did indeed.
I should drop
Leave
it.
and come back. Yep.
Stand by. Stand
the worst
clear.
thing that could happen is that it doesn't let you join off of a camp, which would be its own brand of disaster.
I think it says I can. I checked that in the right click before I hit the death button. And we want to go back to 21:30 is the timer, correct?
Yeah. I don't know if I. Let me see if I can.
Oh, can I? No, I can't. We're just going.
Okay. Where are you at?
We can't rewind. I am at 25:06, 7, 8,
25:06.
9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
We're good.
Because we are going to see Captain Acampt getting taken down here, just barely alive. Has the handshake going, but will not get revived from it. And it looks like Spermwhales have suddenly grabbed a tiny bit of momentum here.
They have. They do have that positioning.
But they've got control of the river. They lost the soul. But I think when you have control of the river like this, with Maokai, with Thresh, with Hui, you can definitely be a bit of a nuisance. But Bakuda is definitely going to make life hard for Maz on this side lane. And I think that's going to be something we've got to watch, because it's going to be really, really hard for this Corki to do anything this lane if Swain looks aggressive. But
they're gonna look
I don't think
for the
these
Yordle.
three. I don't think these three specific characters could do much into the Poppy.
Yep, Tsunami just gonna pass by like ships sailing in the night.
They're just gonna wave to each other, go on their separate ways. Yeah, you've got to have Hui or Corki there if you want to cut down this Poppy.
Yep.
Absolutely, positively. I'm a little disappointed, given that Woofy has so much money that they haven't gotten any lethality items.
Well, they're going a lot of damage. That's for sure.
They're going a lot of damage, yeah.
That's fair enough.
I'm a big believer in, I don't know if you're in a similar camp, I'm a big believer in early GA on Jarvan, like second or third item, just to be a complete nuisance.
For all those Jarvan games I play.
hey, I don't judge. I'm a mid laner and I play a whole lot of Jarvan, so you know.
Champ. It is just one of those champs, you know. I've never built GA on Jarvan, I don't think.
Really, I say consider it, but I think my style is very like just go in, be a nuisance, and if I die, you know, I'm fine with that. In the GA,
we're going to see Cataclysm being used here. Speaking of Jarvan, Tsunami going to be tickled down. This is going to be quite healthy. Eventually, will be taken out by an arrow from Galson. Ultimate can be used from Flash on D here to do some damage onto Woofy, taken quite low.
No,
Yordle flanking, coming through with the Poppy prowess, slamming him into the wall. That's going to be Flash on D taken out. Bird now going to look to do the damage, but Kuda Blast also going to be demonically ascending. Yordle, a nice play from IDK, but it just is not going to be enough. The Colony are taking him to task.
Yep, they are just trying to run this one straight into the ground.
And I don't know, did have a great lantern available for the Urgot. However, Luffy did a fantastic job at body blocking that sucker. So the Urgot ended up having to flash out.
Yeah. Also on Jarvan, I feel like the item that I build, that's my get out of jail free card if I ever want it, is you go the Zanyas.
Yeah, Zanyas is a good one as well. I don't know.
Okay.
But I think both. I feel like those are both like great options, right? To me, at least, right? I think because it's different brands of.
Just do both.
I was gonna say it's my word for things like that is like it's different brands for cheating, right? And you're a tank, you're supposed to go in and die, and the tanks aren't supposed to have access to those items for a reason, right? So I think it's cheating. But JGA is like a second chance. I definitely
Should
think
we mention the CA
difference
difference in the jungle from the map priority that Colony has?
No. I mean, it's map priority. It's also just like, I don't think Maokai necessarily clears as fast, especially as the game goes on, as Jarvan.
Kuda Beast is in a bit of a position. Bird's got a hand.
Yeah,
got an eye on him.
That's going to be available.
Takes a lot of damage. All the shotguns are doing their thing.
Yeah, trying to get those knee
didn't get low enough for the. Didn't quite get there though.
Ooh, Berserk going to land on the two members here of the Whales here. A twisting advance going to be utilized to buy some time. Poppy ult will full miss. Yordle going to be bringing that ult back into their team. That's a lot of damage coming out here. And is going to go down to Maz SP. Now Woofy going to be going into the back line, but a camp will fall as well. Galson, though, is so strong, and Woofy is going to stay alive as well. EQing, going to go into the turret, feeling himself, gets ignited, has to say, okay. Flash on D is not looking to give this up just yet.
Oh,
but EQ over the wall forces the Lash over the wall.
Yeah, Lash on D definitely wasn't anticipating that EQ over the wall. Isn't really anticipating this one as well.
Utilized auto. Gonna be feared.
I step. Ooh, wow, what a Q coming out from Uwufi there. They're likely going to look for the game here. 4 seconds on Tsunami. Instead, they're just going to rotate to the mid wave, take the Hex portals out, and they're going to stay.
Elder Baron.
Elder Dragon?
Elder Dragon is up, so I think.
Yeah.
They're looking to do this one by the book, right? Not going to get overzealous. Because definitely, I think there have been some fights where Spermwhales have kind of caught them asleep at the wheel, right, and kind of threatened to take that fight from them, obviously. But it seems like at this point, it's kind of it's really becoming a wallet diff, right? They can't it feels like they're getting good looks in these fights, right? I think Tsunami had a great Maokai ult, and they were able to punish Yordle's overextension, like hard aggression, pretty greatly. But at some point, even though they had, I feel like every making of a good fight, they just didn't have the money. Right, and got kind of out-leveled, out-XP'd. So they've kind of got to try and find alternate ways to take these fights. And this Elder is likely going to be the last one of the game, but
Yordle sitting in a beautiful flank position here. So scary.
Well, yeah, but with the team was really far at first. I was kind of worried if they had caught Yordle there. I think they might have died. He might have died before they got a chance, but they're all going to walk in from the same side.
A really heads-up
one of those ults.
Poppy ult from knocks away the enemy jungler, and now they're able to just burn this one down. Bird looking to go in. Hook's going to be found, but Elder is gotten, and there goes the EQ. There goes the Berserk. We're seeing the back line get shredded. Tsunami is likely going to be the next one on the menu to fall, and I think that is likely going to be the series for the Colony. Moving on to face 2% Milk in the semifinals, unless Maz SP does a bit of damage here. EQ going forward.
Kind of shifting, but they're stomping down the mid lane. Wild Lash on D is fighting for his life.
Flash handshake from a camp. Yordle also going forward, trying to prevent any movement away. A nice hook, but the Elder Dragon decimates all, and the Colony are grouped as 5, hitting the Nexus turrets.
Mm-hmm. And that will wrap it up. I mean, I think the Whales had a great showing as well, right? Obviously, game two isn't what you want it to be, but I think they still showed a lot of fight in these games, in this game as well, right? And had a great game one. But Colin, you're gonna
Very
go
good game
ahead,
one.
secure a top four finish, and they are on a date with 2% Milk in the semi-final. Oh boy, one is reaching its fever pitch. It's reaching the top point of it.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, we've got a little bit of time, so let's go ahead and let's do some interviews here. We'll grab whoever from Colony wants to come on air here real quick, say a few words, hype us up for the next match. And then, we'll grab someone from Spermwhales, talk to them about their season if they want to. And then we'll call it a night, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. So, well, actually, this is me assuming that they're listening. Let me go ping them.
Hey, I got pinged too.
Would you like to do the interview on behalf?
No, I'm not. I'm very, very grateful I didn't have to play this evening.
As I will close out the prediction there. It was the Colony that won. I almost did a Schmecklegate.
Oh no.
Listen, I'm on record saying we need another Schmecklegate. It has been too long. We need some silly, goofy community drama where we can pull out that courtroom again, and run an episode of Judge Judy LBLCS edition.
I won exactly 14,000 schmeckles off that. What a nice round number.
That's a good number.
Oh, a camp's up in community. Can we drag him?
Welcome, CPT Camps, engage support extraordinaire to the broadcast. Congratulations on your W. Talk us through that last draft, because that game seemed to go pretty clear for you guys, and then I think we're going to want to hear your thoughts on your next opponent's 2% Milk.
Let's see. So Jarvan, Luffy's just cracked on Jarvan, so that was an easy first pick. And then they picked triple tanks. And from there, we're just thinking, all right, what's going to be able to shred through these? And we just kind of played what would shred and play well with Jarvan and Poppy, Yordle's best champion. His name is I Am Yordle. Don't give him Yordle.
But there's so many of them. How can you avoid it?
It's just kind of the gamble you got to play. Which one does he feel like playing today,
Yeah.
Yeah. And then 2%, it's going to be fun. I think there are definite ways that we will beat 2%. I'm not super worried.
They are the 1 seed. Am I correct that they are the 1 seed?
They are, but they didn't play us regular season, so. Yeah.
All right.
Ooh.
If you're undefeated in the season and you don't play us, then are you really undefeated?
That is one of the interesting advantages of the current format for a lot of the leagues, is that in playoffs we get to see very exciting matches that we don't really have prior calibrations for. Val, Loki, any other questions for a camp tier?
You and Ratlantis, probably two of the supports that a lot of people are going to have their eyes on, and I felt like this matchup against I don't know was also kind of a support matchup people had their eyes on. Does it feel nice to kind of people are going to have their eyes on how the support are playing? Does that add any pressure, or are you just like, who cares?
Well, first I want to say, I don't know. His dress was actually pretty solid. Good. I give him kudos for the way he played dress there. But no, it's nice. Going into the season, a lot of people knew that Ratlantis and I were the higher ranks of the whole division. So I think people will be looking at us as the people to take the team through, especially like these tournament situations, who've been here multiple times, just kind of have the experience for that. So it's less more the support play, but more of like having the experience of being here before as well.
Mm-hmm. That's all for me.
All right. Well then, thank you for letting us watch you. Thank you for playing in the league. Congratulations on your win. I look forward to seeing your next series. And anyone you want to shout out for this match in particular before we?
Absolutely.
Yordle.
No, the person I want to shout out is Loki. Honestly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Loki, who is on our team, who has constantly been on standby. She was thinking about playing her third role for the season and has been honestly the glue that's held our team together through the season. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Ooh,
Loki
yeah.
getting the shout out. All right. Well, thank you very much. And we'll now look to see if anyone from Spermwhales wants to come talk to us about their season and how they felt about it. But yeah, thank you very much, Kent.
Thanks, guys.
I always like to, in playoffs, interview both sides, just because, if you're going out in playoffs, you had a good season, you had a good run. I overfilled the waffle maker a little bit.
Oops.
It's
That sounds like a you problem.
Yeah, it is a me problem. It's also potentially a vodka problem. But
I thought the only problem with the vodka was that. Yeah, I thought the only problem with the vodka was that you were out of vodka.
That's the main issue. But it's fine. That's why I have a placemat underneath it.
Ooh, MASP is in the AFK channel. Did they go there by mistake?
MASP says sure. Welcome, MASPs, to the broadcast. Would you first like to tell us how we should actually be pronouncing your name?
You guys can say whatever you guys want. It's MASP, MASP, MAS, whatever it is. It's hard to say. I don't blame you guys for anything like that.
Well, you guys had a pretty successful season. It does unfortunately end here. But is there anything you want to share from the whole season? Anything you want to share about the last game that you played that I don't think we got to watch? Your upset over the 5th seed, the soy milk lifestyle, and just any thoughts or recaps as you're closing it out here.
I know we're pretty happy with our performance. I know it's not the championship that we wanted always, but it just with how well we performed. We're just a bunch of dudes who are friends in Colorado, just trying to play together and see how well we can play. But sometimes we pull upsets. We don't have a lot of time for practice. I'll say that's a hard thing. I wish we did, but we all are busy people, but this is a really fun thing to do for us, and we try to be as competitive as we can. And I'm happy where we perform. I'm happy with my teammates, and always 1-2 ADC. That's all I have to say.
Now, I have to say, I am curious, just because we didn't get to see it. How did you pull off that upset in round 1? How did you end up beating that seed that was higher than you? Had you played them before? What did that look like?
We played them before. Honestly, it was kind of like, it was wild because we have people who are subbing in a lot, and it's just it was just like, that perfect clicking, when you're in a game, everyone's clicking at the same comms. It just felt like that nonstop, and it was like, some games we don't have that click, and it feels terrible. But when we got that click against soy milk, it was just everything was lining up. We felt like we were just a better team. And like game 3, I'm gonna be honest. We picked press R comp. We said, when in doubt, press R. Right, guys? So we had a Kennen, Misfortune, Rakan, a Mumu. Like it was just like, and they had
super valid.
And they had a lot more complications with, like, they were running a Zir, Jarvan. They had to think about how they were going to engage. And we were like, if we get on someone, just press R, we could make a numbers advantage. And I think that's what main reason we won that game is just because we had the ease of just, hey guys, just press R and we could go in. And they had to think it out. So
Just press R comp is such a valid strategy.
It's so good.
Anyone
So
you want to shout out
a-
here? Oh, go for it.
I have a question.
Yeah, go.
Were you intentionally trying to play 20 different champions this season?
That's my question too. That's my question too.
I hate playing the same champions. I really do. I always want to throw a curveball because, like, I play.
What was with the 3 Bard games?
I think
we had
right?
our support couldn't play, and no one else was going to play support. So they said you knew how to play support. So we threw our top laner mid and threw me on support, and I was like, I haven't played support in like 3 years, but I used to love playing bards, and it went well. I thought I was doing okay on it. I was a little troll at some points, but he's just a fun champion to play. I wish more people would actually play him. So
the Pike too was very interesting.
Yeah, went hard.
What my team knows about me is I'm all aggression, and most of the time I have to just tell myself I have to play this slow, otherwise I will just try to fight you constantly. Like I came here to play. I didn't come here to sit here and farm waves. If I wanted to do that,
okay, so you, me, and Luffy cannot be on the same team then.
Hey, that sounds like you guys are a perfect fit for teams together. I'm not gonna lie.
We coin flip at level 3 every time, right?
I'm going to pitch some team names for that combination. Team All Int. Okay?
Yes, absolutely.
What about the Suicide Bombers?
I know, it's pretty good.
I don't know if that gets cleared, but that's also a pretty good one. I don't know if that one gets cleared, but that's a good idea.
Sure.
Oh, fantastic. All right, well, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for playing in the season. Been great to have you around. Anyone you want to shout out before we go ahead and end this broadcast?
Shout out my 2 fathers on my team who are currently having children, and we're still giving us time to practice. So I appreciate Viet Dong and Mr. Stan Try now, or it used to be Energy Tree. It's Stan Try.
Yeah, it's Stan Tree. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
Shout out those 2 for sticking with us, even though they were having a lot going on in their real lives. So.
Shout out. Well, sounds awesome. Thank you so much. Val, you want to take us out with that classic phrase of yours?
It takes 2 to tango.